Hmm? Mm, mm, mm. Oh, greetings, fellow eggshell viewers and viewers alike. My name is Yasashi Tsu-Kun, and well, we're probably gonna finish up Tomoyo after for yeah today's session. Well, or at least just get as far as we can with It's a Wonderful Life. So, anyways, yeah, it's been a long time since I've done this because it's the 28th of uh May, and last time it was the 22nd. So yeah, without further ado, let's continue with this playthrough, shall we? Yeah.
Woken up by the dazzling morning sun, I leave the room. I leave a note for Tomoyo, telling her I'm going on a walk. I need some time to think, no matter how little. We came here to find out why Tomo's mother left Tomo. We already accomplished that. But I'm still not satisfied. After finding out the truth, I thought it would be better if they just lived together. That is why I'll make sure Tomo can live here. That became our new reason for staying here. But I still don't know how I'll make that happen. I think back on what Tomo's mother told me.
ここに暮らすみんなも何かがない。失ってるんです。失い続けてるんです。未来も希望もすべてがあるあの子をここに連れてくるわけにはいきません。
It is about Tomo living here. In other words, it's about creating hope in a future in a place like this. I wonder if that's even possible.
What should I do?
I come across the manager while walking through the hallway, muttering to myself. She's holding an old-fashioned vacuum cleaner in her hand, playing with its power switch.
あ、おはよう。よく眠れた？
Barely.
I answer honestly.
そう。なんで電源入らないんだろう。
Is there something wrong with the vacuum cleaner?
急に電源入らなくなっちゃって。
Did you check the wall socket? That happens a lot, really.
向こうでつながってるわ。
When I look, there's a toxic extension cord coming from the other side of the hallway. Bending around a corner, the plug is stuck in a socket.
Did it work at first?
ええ。
I try unplugging the extension cord, then plugging the original cable into the socket. The vacuum cleaner makes a thick, loud noise and starts to work.
Looks like this was the problem.
I swing the extension cord around. I see it's really old.
If only if I could check the electrical current.
I carefully trace the insulation of the cord with my finger. The part that rubbed against the corner of the hallway bulged, and the husk was cracked at several places.
It's probably this part that's broken.
わかるの？
I do these kinds of things at work. If I can cut it, I can connect it using a nipper, so some rubber tape and, no soldering iron.
あるけど、切っちゃうと届かないのよね。
The manager points towards the end of the hallway.
この長さでちょうど届くのよ。
I think about it for a minute, and a good idea came into my mind.
Do you happen to have any spare electrical appliances around? Just a power cord is enough.
そんなのあったっけ？あ。
The manager takes me to a mountain road. The road is steep but fairly wide. Although it isn't paved, the road looks wide enough for cars to pass each other.
Where exactly are you taking me?
あそこ、迷惑してるんだけど、たまに役に立つから。
The manager points at a plain black mound.
It feels like I've seen it before.
As we close in, I begin to see several large heaps of oversized garbage. It feels familiar because I've often seen similar things at my company.
これ不法投棄なのよね。
Did they dump things here as they pleased?
そう。何度も文句言ってたんだけど、しまいには会社ごとなくなっちゃって。結局そのままってわけ。村の役場にも行ったんだけど、なかなかね。
The manager takes off the vinyl sheet covering it. There are some lovely electric appliances lined up in there.
こういうのでいいかしら。
They'll work.
I look for the longest non-corded cord I can find and I cut it. The rest is easy. As it won't be long enough, I can just add it to the other cord. I cut the rotten parts of the extension cord and connect it to the cable I brought with me. After twisting and coiling the temporary vinyl cable, the repair is done.
It'll work for the time being.
I turn the power on and the vacuum cleaner starts working.
But you should really buy a new extension cord as soon as possible. It's dangerous otherwise.
The manager nods with a smile. After that, she shows me around the village to show her gratitude. As always, the village people didn't respond when spoken to, but still I managed to learn about village life and the rules of the facilities. The buildings in the middle of the center is in the center of the village. Many villagers live there, and they mainly spend their days farming. I also learned that every couple of days a doctor comes here from the town and the base of the mountain to see how things are going. It's just like there was a hospital in the village.
So, what do you need me to do?
In front of me is an old washing machine. Seeing it makes me feel nostalgic. It's a 2-part washing machine with a separate dryer.
直せないかなって思って。暇なんでしょ?
It might look like I do, but sadly I don't really.
I have enough things to think about. There's a friendly-looking girl behind the manager.
Who's that behind you?
洗濯係のさとみさん。洗濯機が壊れたから困ってるのよね。
I see.
Doesn't look like I can refuse.
You got the tools, right?
はい。使えるものなら何でも使っていいわよ。
She brings us up with a toolbox.
What happened when it stopped working?
いきなりうなり出して、そのうちスイッチも効かなくなったのよね。
I think of a number of possible diagnostics. However, there's not much one can do without metering tools. There's a tester in the toolbox, but I've never used one at work. Being able to check the electricity is still better than nothing, I suppose. I try every pop, one by one, to see if they conduct electricity. As I check, the girl from behind me peers at me.
治るの
I feel as if that's the first time I've been spoken to since I've arrived at this village.
I don't know yet. But it doesn't look difficult to fix. If the part's all fine, I think it should be alright.
I turn the power on once to see if anything happens. Only a dryer doesn't turn on, so it's clear what the problem is. The washing machine's motor, which I took out, works without any kind of problem. It seems like that there aren't any problems here. The girl stares at my hand like she wants to eat them.
Are you interested in what I'm doing?
When I ask her, she looks surprised and covers herself.
Go bene.
I focus back on the task at hand. I stick the pins of the testers at the loops of the cable again. The needle doesn't move an inch.
So, here's the problem.
I take out a notepad and write down the cable's color and connections. I notice a presence behind me. The girl is peering at the notepad.
The G&D is the line where the electricity goes out, and the red one is the line where the electricity comes in. Somewhere inside this thing, the circuit got cut. If I can find where, I can fix it.
Hearing me mutter as if I was talking to myself, she nods in puzzlement. I try to fix the line's contact with a soldering iron, which I don't know is working. The fuse in the middle is blown, so I look for the fuse with the same resistance on the trash heap and attach it. Pouring oil on the moving parts, I remove the dust and filth. With that, the assembly is finished.
Can you turn on the power and see what happens?
She nods and timidly turns the dial of the dryer. The washing machine starts to vibrate while making a dull rumble. She doesn't make a sound, but by the way she's looking at me and the washing machine, I know she's surprised.
That's good, isn't it?
I wipe the oil from my hands with the cloth I was given, and suddenly she grabs my hand.
Hey, what's
ありがとう。
Her voice sounds fragile as she thanks me. Both her hands are shaking, and she has a happy smile on her face. In the end, I spend the day repairing things in the village. It was thanks to the manager and the laundry girl telling everyone in the village about me.
お疲れ様。
I'm tired.
The manager sets a glass of tea down as I sit down, completely exhausted. I drink it all in one go. She pours me some more when I ask for it. Even though this isn't the time to be doing this, I stare at the glass while forcing myself to think.
ずっと何を考えてるの？
Nothing at all.
優子さんと娘さんがここで共に暮らすには？
Bullseye!
無理よ。
It's a fake response.
優子さんから聞いたでしょ？
The tone of her voice is very kind as if she's admonishing a disobedient child.
この村は何もない人が暮らす場所だって。それにね、生活でも困ることが多いわ。聞くけど、ここに来るとき山道を登ってきたでしょ？どれくらい時間かかった？
With the delays, it took over 2 hours.
必要な買い物だってそれくらいかかるし、地図にも載ってないような村だからね。学校に通わせようなんて考え始めたらもっと大変。そしてそこにはまた世間というものがあるわけでしょ。ここにいるから今の優子さんは穏やかでいられるのよ。
You're losing something too?
私は管理をしているだけでそういうのではないけど、それが
So you can't drop someone off and come pick them up later?
じゃあ誰がここの管理をするの？あなたがしてくれる？給与は出ないけど、すべての生活を捨てて来てくれる？
I can't do anything but shake my head. I speak about my wish to the villagers. They listen to my story, but no one looks that happy to hear it. We're staying over tonight as well, since I couldn't think of anything. I'm worried that the holiday will end without us having accomplished anything. I feel like rushing forward, and it makes me restless. Excusing myself, I take a stroll along a mountain path. Then, for some reason, I come across Kanako.
What is it?
いやー、暗い顔してるからさ。
Is that so?
I didn't notice until she told me.
そのままどっかから飛び降りちゃうんじゃないかと思って。
As if I would.
Without thinking, I slowly meander along the mountain path. I arrive at a cliff. It's dangerous because there are no lights. If I'm careless, I might actually fall. When I look at the bottom, I feel like I'm being sucked in.
Oh, whoa.
A loud voice catches me by surprise, making me jump.
Are you trying to make me fall?
いやー、危ないよーって。
That's not a funny joke.
We 星空。
Kanako stops walking and looks up at the sky.
向こうでも結構すごいなって思ってたんだけど、桁違いだね。
I also look up at the sky. The stars twinkle brightly as if they're falling down to earth.
はあ、友にも見せてあげたかったな。
What about Takafumi?
こんなにも星が綺麗なんだからさ、元気出そうよ。
Yeah. Did she manage to cheer me up in her own way? But in the end, it still doesn't look like I can do anything about it. I'm not able to create things like a future or dream. Some rich guy or a big shot might be able to do it, but I'm just a humble worker. I'm only able to do things like fix broken vacuum cleaners or repair washing machines. After walking for a while, we arrive at the garbage heap. I sit on the barrel walk and look at the barely visible village. The field is illuminated by the moonlight, and only the facility street lights are lit, flickering on and off.
ここに友が住めるようにすればいいんじゃないの？
I know that much. Since I can't make that happen, I'm thinking about what to do.
部屋も余ってたじゃん。
There's no school.
じゃあ作ればいいじゃん。
Build what?
学校。
I look at Kanako in astonishment. Why not? You know? I tried to say that she was thoughtless, but decided not to. I have immediately disregarded her idea as, if it doesn't exist, build it, as impossible no matter what, even if it was just a an idea. But now I've been doing things that were deemed impossible. The nightly brawls that I managed to win. The typing contest against Takafumi that I won. Lifting the curse on Takafumi. Even here we were able to find this place with just one sheet of paper. I've come so far, achieving the impossible.
I wonder why I had forgotten that.
Taking into Kanako's words, I finally remember.
私が何？どうせバカだろうとか言うんだろ。
No, I'm seeing you in a new light. You are an idiot among idiots. Smaka. And so, August 13th, Tomoyo after year, Friday. I've been wandering over the village since this morning. I need to find out if yesterday's idea is possible. The residents here live either in or near the facility. No one lives further away. I inspect their abandoned houses one by one. Each one I check is unusable though. The houses have decayed and the roof has collapsed. There are no floors and some buildings are slanted. After walking around for a while, I wind up in front of a house far from the others. The doors are tightly closed but nobody's inside. It looks old but the roof and support beams are still in good shape. From what I can see, the inside isn't that bad either. Using this house, this might somehow work out. I run back into the facility. The run makes me realize that it's been a while since I felt so refreshed.
学校を作る？
Yeah, I found an abandoned house that would be a good fit. It looks like nobody's living there, so I can make use of it.
どうやって？
Using my experience, I can't do much more than physical labor.
そんなことをしていいのか？
Of course! I'll ask for the manager's permission first, though.
学校を作る？
Yeah, can you let me use the abandoned house west of here? I'll take care of the rest.
学校ね。そんなもの作れるのかしら。
I think I could.
はあ。
May I?
畑仕事の邪魔にならないんだったら どうぞお好きに。
She's probably only letting me because she thinks it's impossible. She might regret for giving me a free rein. Too bad for her, but I'm only concerned with what's best for Tomo. Even so, I have to find the materials I can use.
After that morning, I struggle through the mountainous garbage heap. The first thing I find is an umbrella of fluorescent lights. It's a reserve Mount Fuji. It's a reverse Mount Fuji model that can be used to light the room. I wipe it with a dust cloth. It may be a little bit bent, but it can still be used. Lining up my findings up on the vinyl sheet, I start digging through the garbage heap. Tomoyo, look, I found a blackboard. Full of joy, I unconsciously start yelling.
そうか。
Tomoyo, in contrast, replies weakly. Could you come over here? Watch your step. I want you to help me dig.
ああ。
She tries to climb up directly. Your feet! Ah! The warning comes too late. Tomoyo tries to balance her body in some kind of plate, but slips. She spins and lands on her back. Are you alright? I approach her and stretch out my hand. Tomoyo remains silent while I pull her up. Are you hurt? Tomoyo doesn't answer. It seems she's not in pain. What's wrong?
こんなゴミの山で何をしてるんだ。
She asked me as if she just snapped back to her senses. Digging up the blackboard. I answered in a composed manner.
どうして。
To build a school.
どうして。
So Tomo can attend it.
ちょっと待て。友はまだ幼稚園児だぞ。作るなら幼稚園じゃないのか。
I want to build her hopes and her futures here. Things like that. The school is a symbol of that. That's why a school will be fine.
そうか。どうして学校なのかはまだ理解していないが、友也は友がここで暮らしていけるように頑張ってるんだな。
Yeah. That's why I want you to help me. Did you get hurt when you fell?
友也、話を聞いてほしいんだ。
I'm asking you if you're hurt or not.
Still, Tomoyo doesn't answer my question.
友のことなんだが、
What?
She continues to talk.
本当に母親の元に戻すべきなんだろうか。
Tomoyo has probably been thinking about what Tomo's mother said. I think we should. I answer as if it were only natural.
そうなのだろうか。もしかしたらそれは単独的かもしれないぞ。
Timidly, she shares her thoughts with me.
私は友の立場に立って考えてみたんだ。友は母親に捨てられたと思っている。それについて異論はないな。
Okay, I get it.
それを知ったあの日、友は傷つき泣き晴らした。私はずっとそばにいて慰めた。翌日からは泣かなかった。友はその悲しみを乗り越えたんだ。
She hasn't overcome it, even though she's in grief.
そうか。友也はそう考えてるんだな。
Yeah.
まあ、悲しんでいたとしてもだ。私という母がいる。その悲しみも癒えていくと思うんだ。
Maybe.
うん、きっとそうなる。自信はあるんだ。でも仮に今ここで友を母親に引き渡したことを考えてみてほしい。友の立場で。 どうなる？
We would restore her ordinary life with her mother.
その通りだ。しかし、その時間は悲しいことに長くは続かないんだ。
Yeah.
友は目の前で母親を亡くすことになる。この悲しみはどれほどのものだろう。一度失って、そして戻ってきたと思ったのに、また失うんだぞ。まるで神様のたちの悪いいたずらのようじゃないか。悲しみは一度きりでいいじゃないか。何もそんなにたくさん貸さなくてもいいじゃないか。あんなに小さいのに、そんな不幸に矢継ぎ早に見舞われるなんてかわいそうじゃないか。もういいじゃないか。もうそもそも私たちだって知らないまま終わるはずだった。あんなにも必死にこの場所を突き止めてしまったから。だから友や私たちもこのままこの場所を去ろう。
That's Tomoyo's solution to this. But I have another solution. Whatever happens, I think the two of them should be together.
どうして？
Because they're family. We can't just leave them like this.
そうか。初めてかもな。
The first time, what?
二人の意見が分かれるなんて。
Yeah.
私にも信念がある。だから悪いが手伝えない。
That's too bad. Tomoyo turns her back to me and heads down to the garbage heap. When she reaches the ground, I turn around. She stands there as if she has something to say, but in the end she remains quiet. She disappears behind the trees, full of crying cascadas.
Maybe it's due to the parent-child relationship.
The words I say just now are somewhat ironic, and they make me laugh. Or maybe now I'm able to accept that person. Either way, I'll worry about that later. There's something I have to do now. I have to move my hands. I take off the gloves and wipe my face with the towel hanging around my neck. I take off the t-shirt I was wearing and wring it. Sweat drips off. Even though I'm at a high altitude, being in the open sun sure is hot. To prevent things getting sunstroke, I drink some water and return to work.
This place,
I dig up a blackboard, a fluorescent light, and attach it to school desk. I find a chair made of pipes, and I'm sure there's more to find. But how will I move all this? The blackboard is as big as I am, with both arms extended. Somehow I managed to drag it out of the heap, but bringing it back will be laborious. I decided to climb down the mountain once.
台車ね。
It would really help to have something to carry it with.
こんなのでよければあるけど。
She brings out is an old metal hand truck. It makes a squeaking rattling sound as it moves. It's better than nothing. I need to repair it before I can use it. The wheel bearing is still intact, so I add some lubricant and force it to move. The bent pedestal is the cause of the squeaking, so I detach the screw and straighten it. Once I reassemble it, it can move again. It's not something I've repaired before, so I'm surprised I managed to fix it using what I've learned. Spreading out the vinyl sheets in the garden, I arrange the salvage I've gathered. I start off by cleaning dusty abandoned house. I avoid the agricultural equipment that has been left on the dirty ground, and instead remove the old tatami mats piling up in the inner room. I piled the trash in the corner of the garden. I noticed something as I am cleaning. Someone was probably using this house until recently. It is terribly dirty, but there are hints that it has been maintained. By sweeping away the soot and wiping down the house with a damp cloth, the house can now be used. Having finished cleaning, fixing the fuse box is up next. The wire is connected to the house, but pulling the breaker does nothing.
There's no electricity in the lines?
Unfortunately, I've never done any electrical work. However, I did learn a bit from my studies, so I did understand a few things. I continue working. Whatever the results may be, I am very pleased now that there's something I can do. Back when I was a student, I was incompetent and weak. Those 8 months that I left Tomoyo by herself made me like that. But now it's different. If there's something I can do, I want to do it. For someone else. That day, I began to care for others.
うわあ、こいつマジで作ってやがる。私をバカの中のバカ呼ばわりしておいて、それを実行するお前はどんなバカだよ。
Yeah, call me whatever you want.
ザ・うんこマン。
Sorry, I take back what I said.
それよりも見てさ、これ。
Kanako proudly shows off the ice cream she has.
村の人がくれたんだよ。いい人もいるんだね。
Did you thank them properly?
言ったよ。子供扱いすんなよ、もう。
Didn't you just do something like a kid would do?
んだよ、てめえ、誘惑すっぞ。
Whatever, just be quiet.
しかし、ここ暑いね。よくいるね、こんなとこ。涼んでこよーっと。
She goes back the way she came, completely carefree. This should do it. I finished repairing the breaker. The house now has power. It was only a quick fix, so the damaged circuit will need to be replaced sometime soon. The fluorescent light I had picked up has a broken stabilizer. I look over it briefly, and I'm almost certain that's the problem. But I don't have a replacement part, so I can only go back to looking for one in the garbage heap. Thanks to the heat, my consciousness fades for an instant. After taking a deep breath, I tell myself not to lose heart and to keep it up. I return to the garbage heap once more.
ああ、いたいた。
On the way to the mountain of the garbage, I come across the manager.
本当に作ってるの？さっきかなちゃんに聞いたんだけど。
Kana-chan? I asked without thinking.
あなたの連れの子よ。
She grew close to me before I realized it.
いろんな人にお菓子せがんでるんだもの。手のかかる子ね。今じゃ村一番の有名人よ。
Unexpectedly, she sounds like she's serious.
で、話を戻すけど。
Yeah, I'm doing as I please, just like you said I could.
どうして？
I think I've said before, so Tomo can live here.
あ、ごめん、そうじゃなくてね。どうしてそこまで優子さんのためにするのかってこと。優子さんのお子さん、あなたの彼女の妹になるのかな。言い方は悪いんだけど、あなたにとっては他人よ。
So what?
なんでそんな面倒なことに首を突っ込むのかってこと。
I stay silent. After thinking for a while, I laugh.
なんで笑うのよ。
I've never thought about why. It's probably because I know her. I wouldn't do the same thing for complete strangers. I'd let their friends take care of it. But if the people I know are suffering, I want to help them any way I could. If it's something I can do, I'll do it.
どうして？
Because if you live thinking like that, more people will be happier.
そうなの。
I know it's an annoyance to the people here. And I do feel sorry about it, I admit. But Tomo is suffering even more, even now. She's always thinking about her mother. And her mother loves her too. That's why I think they should live together. So, when I thought of what I could do, it was building a school. That's all.
本気みたいね。
Of course. The manager puffs up her shoulders once and lets out a loud sigh.
止めようかと思ったけど、あなたの話を聞いてたら無理だと悟っちゃったわ。
I'm thankful of that. Otherwise it would have taken time that I don't have. The manager throws a friendly punch on my shoulder.
でも、せめてお昼ご飯くらいは食べに帰っていらっしゃい。ぶっ倒れるわよ。
Yeah, I will, starting tomorrow. I find several stabilizers from old fluorescent lights in the trash heap. I take a multimeter to test them and take several lights to try. Recalling from memory and the work I do, this is a process of trial and error. I realize there is a huge amount of work I have to do. I can't help but thinking about going straight back to my workplace to get the tools I need. But the village is too far away to simply head back. There's also Tomoyo. I can't just leave her behind. If I tell her I need to go home, she'd come with me and probably wouldn't return.
I can only persevere for now.
Until I have built a school. Visibility at my hand starts to fade, and I raise my head. The mountain is stained red, and the sun is trying to hide its shadow. It gradually darkens, and the lack of light becomes a hindrance to my work. It's a pain, but I have to call it a day. I pack the pots I think I can use in a wooden box I found in the Mountain of Refuse. These identical pots I found and the pots I used before will help me repair other things later on. I also found a steel shelf in good condition. Those are rather useful in school. The image I have of the school slowly begins to take its shape. I'm so tired my legs feel like sheep, like lead, but strangely I feel no pain. And so, it's August 14th, Saturday, Tomoyo after year. Well, anyways, I'm gonna have to end it here. So yeah, like and favorite if you're enjoying this session of Tomoyo after. It's a Wonderful Life. Subscribe to become one of my eggshell viewers, and yeah, look forward to what happens next time on this very good old session of Tomoyo after. This is Yasashi Tsu-Kun signing out. Have a good day, everybody. Stay sharp out there, and hopefully building a school isn't really that complex as what you guys find it to be. Well, anyways, gotta go here. Ja ne.